Well, we say goodbye to Keld Lodge. It's nothing wrong with them. I had not particularly good night's sleep. A lot of cramps, but there you go. But this morning, as you can see, we have a bright sunny start to the day, and it could be dry all day. Thursday apparently will be wet again. I had to decide, so no waterproofs on today, happy to say, first time. Decide which way to go, whether to do the high route, the traditional route, or the alternative low route, which is full of memories for me, probably more on the high route. I've been up both. But it's been such a fine day, I probably will do the high route. And I will see down into the Swale at the start, which used to be, my Gill and I's two Cavalier Spaniels, most fabulous walk. They used to love it because the whole hillside was covered in rabbits. Not that they would ever catch one, and if they did, they wouldn't know what to do. But they loved chasing up and down the hills, and it is very, very beautiful valley, or dale, I should say. So that's it for now. We're heading off just back into the village of Keld and then out on the north side. So first we descend down into Keld village. Even have their own public toilets here. Keld countryside and heritage centre won't be open yet. All these villages were, this one a United Reformed Church, were Methodists and members of, Congregational Church it was at one point. Here we have our first close-up view of the River Swale. It's meandering down from Keld. There are some waterfalls further up, some very attractive ones which we don't get to see along this path. But well worth a detour too if you're ever in this area. Obviously continuing its downward flow towards Muka, and then beyond it bends off to Gunnerside and on to Reeth. In fact, just past the bridge there is this waterfall which is coming down off the hills and joining the Swale. Obviously quite a good tribute. Here again. So we're coming down the hills and into the river. Making slow progress here. There is some nice falls. I'm just approaching decision time. I could go head along to the western side of the river here, or we head on up to Crackpot Hall and Gill and do the high route. I think it's been such a clear day, nice day, we'll do the high route this time because I come back and do the coast to coast next year hopefully. And that time I think we'll probably take the low.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, some things never change. This was here well over 20 years ago, and it's still here now, remnants of an old abandoned tractor. We're getting near Crackpot Hall now. Another beautiful view. Swale Dale. Path to the left very clear here. Drops down, and this is the wonderfully named ruins of Crackpot Hall. No, it wasn't named after me. It's originally, I think, it was a hunting lodge and then rebuilt a couple hundred years ago as a farm and abandoned in the 50s. A well-known spot on this walk. So now we're approaching Gill, and what is in reality the start of extensive old lead mine ruins from the smelting mills, the hushes, and also accommodation. Literally this part of Yorkshire was the capital of the world lead mining industry, what, probably 150 plus years ago. Long gone, and left an indelible scar on the landscape, parts of the landscape. Nothing has grown back. Quite bleak up here when you get further up. It's quite a steep climb up from Gill, and coming up over onto the moors now. Still sheep about. A lot of wind, which probably, don't know if you can hear me. We just joined a four-wheel drive track, and the reason for that is because there were signs warning about nesting birds, and we'll see soon grouse shooting butts up here, and obviously the four-wheel drives are taking the great and the good up to their spot of birds for fun out. So now we're on the tops looking down the valley. Plenty of greenery still here. This is actually spoil heaps here, been reclaimed by the heather. These mounds, but I believe that gill down there is Riverside Gill. When we get to there, it is, or certainly was, very bleak. Okay, so we've come off the four-wheel drive track, and this ravine you see in front of us is actually man-made, and you see a lot of these around here. It's what's called a hush, and in effect what they used to do was dam the water, and then it poured down full pelt to rip out the sides of the undergrowth, the soil, etc., to expose the lead underneath. And many of them, you see so many paths crisscrossing around here. This is the North Hush, I believe it's called, obviously disused for well over a century. So down there is Riverside Gill. That's where Gill and I would have walked down the side of it, back round to Muka. Passed a couple of walkers in a couple of times yesterday and today. Oh, they've passed me rather. Well, I've just stopped here. We're now going down, quite steeply down to the bottom here before climbing back up the other side and along up that gill to the top again. So it's quite an undulating walk, this. Again, more old mine ruins. Going right up, see, yeah, I think it's part of a chimney of a old smelting mill up there as well. The path we're going on zigzags over these rocks here, comes back round through the buildings and then up the other side and along up there. Or is it up there? Soon find out. Right, it certainly is bleak up here. Those are grouse butts, people hide behind. This is all just spoil from the lead mining industry still. That, by the way, the machinery is an old stone crusher, apparently, it says on the guide notes. Yeah, just abandoned. Now, having come down through what is little more than ancient industrial wasteland, spoil heaps everywhere, some of them being recovered by heather. We're now coming to this section of the road, and it's four-wheel drive track in effect, and this is now, we've got heather on either side, which is a lot more pleasant to look at. Obviously the flowering now finished, and we come down, you continue down here a little way. Now these arches you can see up there, pillars, They're the remains of an old peat store, and the peat would no doubt have been used fuel for what is down there, which is the old gang smelting mill. And the old gang mine would have been down a bit further up. Well, that explains the few dog walkers I've just seen, obviously. Drive down this road and park just over there, and then walk over the bridge, which is called, a lovely name, Surrender Bridge. I've no idea where I got that name from. And the road that's coming down there, winding round and coming over below this path. You can see again the dales opening up. When in reality we don't cross that bridge. We come up just straight across the road, continue on the path across this moorland, just come behind the ruins of what is Surrender Mill, near Surrender Bridge, of course. And it tells us to head up the moors in direction of a visible cairn at the top of the hill. I don't see any cairn at the top of the hill, but that's the way we'll be going. Well, just on the left there you'll see a fine little purple heather flower. You understand how stunning these moors are, which are covered in purple heather at the right time of year, which is now gone. So again, heading down into the dales towards a house as the next marker with the name of Nova Scotia. So I don't know, no idea what led to it being called Nova Scotia, but there we go. This section of path coming down on really nice, beautiful spongy grass through the bracken, heading to these trees, which, despite it being 1st of October in 2 days' time, aren't really showing any signs of falling leaves yet. Maybe a few brown leaves at the top, but still thick and green at the moment. Well, I guess about 16 kilometres ago we said goodbye to the Swale, and now we've just come and joined what actually is the low path for the final stretch into the village of Reeth. Well, we're journey's end. This is Reeth, one of the biggest village greens I think there is around, known as the capital of Swaledale. And we're booked in here, the King's Arms Hotel, for the night, so I'll go have a look in there in a minute. I love this, similar to where I parked at the start of the walk in Carperby. Reeth Parish Council parking, voluntary contributions for the upkeep of the green, suggested donations, cars £2 a day, half a day £1. No overnight camping. Well, you can't really complain at that, can you? I'm happy to say the actual sun has come out again. We've had a bit of rain walking along the riverside. It's now nice blue sky. Almost exactly 6 hours and 19 kilometres later. And yeah, a very pleasant day today.